Hello YouTube. With Christmas yesterday, there's going to be a lot of new people with iOS devices out there that are wondering what they can do with it. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you some of my favorite apps, some of the first apps that I think everybody should have when they first get their iOS device. I'm going to be going over these things in 6 different categories. I have games, Google, music, photo, social, entertainment, and other. So I'm going to be going over each of those sections and giving a quick demo of each app in them. Let's get started. So first let's start with games. Here I have 4 games. Obviously there's a huge expanse of games that is available for the iPhone, iPod Touch, and iPad, but in this I'm just going to be going over 4 of my favorites. I'm personally more of a fan of quick, sort of games you can pick up and play anywhere. You don't have to get invested in them for a long time, but there are other games like Dead Space and Nova that have a longer sort of campaign and they're like FPS, but these are sort of more arcade style games where you can pick up. First is Words with Friends. If you've ever played the game Scrabble, then you know this. Basically, it's Scrabble but with a slightly different board and letters, and you can play with anyone. So if you want to make a game with me, I'll try to play you back. My name is Jumhyn. You see me right there, Jumhyn. And basically, you just put letters on. So let's do right. R-I-G-H-T. You try to play words, get points. Whoever has the most points at the end wins. It's addictive. Now we have to wait for him to play me back. But it's a great game. I really recommend you go check it out. There's a free version and a paid version. Next, we have Tilt to Live. If you've ever played this, then you know what it is. But basically, you are that little white thing in the center of the screen. You got to tilt your device around to dodge all of the red dots that appear on screen, and you get these weapons that blow up all the dots. It's sort of hard to play on camera, but that's the basic idea. It's fast-paced, it's really fun. I really recommend you go check it out. Next, we have Fruit Ninja. This game has become extremely popular. It even has a version for the Kinect on the Xbox. How you do this is you use your finger to slice fruit that pops up on the screen. You try to hit the fruit, avoid the bombs. It's pretty simple and it's pretty fun. It starts out kind of slow, but it gets fast really, really quick. And stuff will start popping up faster and faster and faster. So you can see there I'm slicing the fruit, and if I hit a bomb, then it blows up and I lose the game. So links to all of these will be down in the description, all the apps I'm demoing right here if you want to go check them out. That's Fruit Ninja. Last game I'm going to demo for you guys is Tiny Wings. You can see I just got played back in Words with Friends, but in Tiny Wing, basically, you are this bird and you're trying to fly through these different islands and get as many coins as possible, get as far as possible, and it's extremely addictive, and it can get pretty aggravating because there's all sorts of achievements that you have to get, and some of them are pretty hard. One of them, you've got to play through the game upside down for several islands, so you've got to either play upside down or flip your phone and try and figure out how to play with just your phone upside down. So yeah, this is Tiny Wings, link down in the description, and that's it for games. Like I said, this is by no means all the games that are available for the iPhone and iPod Touch. Obviously there's a ton more and you can check those out on the App Store, but these are some of my favorites that I think you should start with. Next, on to Google. I'm not going to go into too much depth on each of these Google apps, but Google has a whole wide selection of apps that is available for the iPhone and iPod Touch and iPad. These are the 4 most useful ones in my opinion. We have Google Chrome. It's basically an alternate browser. You can see here, we're on our YouTube page. You have different tabs you can go through, and some people prefer it over Safari. I personally think it has sort of a cleaner interface, and it definitely works well with all of Google's other apps. You can sync with Chrome on your computer to have all your same app tabs and bookmarks open. Next, we have Google Drive. This has all of your stuff formerly Google Docs had, so you can open documents, you can edit them, do whatever you want. You can hit edit and then type whatever you want in there. So then we can close that. And you can edit documents. I'm not sure if you can edit, I don't believe you can edit presentations, but I think you can do spreadsheets. So let's do test, create. Wait for it to create our spreadsheet. and then it gives you all the information on how to edit them. You can hit got it, and now we can edit our spreadsheets. So that's great. It's a great app, very clean interface, and extremely useful if you have to edit a Google document while you're not at home or don't have your computer available. Next we have Google Maps. A lot of people complain about iOS 6 Apple Maps, so we have this app because Google released it onto the App Store, their own Google Maps app. It works basically the same as the original Google Maps app that was on the iPhone with a slightly updated interface. So you can zoom in, look at all the streets. Right now we're somewhere in New York, I'm not really sure where. But it does all the same functionality. It does directions, turn by turn. So yeah, definitely go check that out. It's free. All of Google's apps are free, I believe. You can check out the links down in the description. And lastly, we have YouTube. Once again, Apple removed the YouTube app because their license with Google expired, so you have to download Google's own YouTube app, but it has all the same functionality as the original with a different interface. You can view whatever videos you want to. We can go to our uploads and check those out. We can start watching one of those videos. And you can see we can skip to the ad. It actually does have more functionality because you can see it plays the video right there instead of having to take over the entire screen. But of course, if we want that, we can have it do that. And that's it for YouTube. Next, we have our music apps. A lot of these are pretty similar. They serve different functions. Sonos is a music system that I have set up in my house, so you can play music to the speakers in your house from anywhere. That does require having the speakers, but once you do, then it's really easy to set up, and it's really useful because you can just play high quality music straight from your iPhone and control it from there. Spotify is a music streaming service, and if I show you that, then you can search for whatever, you can go on a radio, but unfortunately to use it on your phone it does require a subscription. The lowest form is $10 a month, that's what I pay, but you can stream whatever music that they have on their servers to your device. And if you don't want to pay the subscription, then there's always Pandora. Pandora is a radio service. You can't choose what songs you want to listen to as much, but you can basically choose a genre or a artist, and it'll give you songs related to those. So I'm gonna pause this just so don't get sued for copyright infringement. DJ is a app that allows you to choose 2 tracks and mix them together. It costs $10, I believe, but sometimes they do promotions where you can get it for free or less. So you can see we can pick 2 songs and add them to our turntables, and then we can play them and mix them. I'm not going to show you how to do that because that'll go too in depth, and there's a lot of different things you can do with this app. And finally, SoundHound, which is a music tagging app. Any song you hear on the radio or performed in some store or wherever you are, if you hear a song and you don't know what it is but you like it, you can use SoundHound to either hum a tune or hold it directly up to the speakers and figure out what that song is. It works very well. I've used it a lot, and it's definitely one of my most useful apps. Next, we have Photo and Social. So here I have several apps that use either the camera or the or form of social networking. Instagram obviously is the photo sharing thing, so you can take a picture of whatever you want. We can take a picture of my lighting here, and then you can apply filters and share it. So if you want to follow me on Instagram, I am Jumhyn, Jumhyn. I don't post that many pictures, but you can go check me out, see what I have posted, and then you just hit that when you're done, and you can write whatever you want, and you can follow whoever you want to that posts photos that you like. So that's Instagram. Next we have Snapchat. Once again, Snapchat is a social photo app. You can take pictures and send them to people. Same username for me on Snapchat if you want to send me a picture, Jumhyn. Basically, it sends pictures and then they self-destruct, so you can choose how long they last for, from 3 seconds to 10 seconds, and then once they are seen by the other person, they exist for that time and they're automatically deleted. So it lets you send pictures of whatever you want and they'll be gone before the person has time to show you. It'll also notify you if they take a screenshot, And yeah, that's Snapchat. Next we have QR Reader. This is for reading QR codes. I don't have one available right now, but basically it's the barcodes that look exactly like the icon. You can see the square black dotty barcodes, and it'll be able to read those and tell you what they say. Next we have 360-degree panorama. What this does is it's a panorama app that can do photos all around. It's sort of hard to show you on the camera here. I believe we have a video of it on our channel. I'll put a link down to that in the description if you want to check this out. But it's a really cool app. It makes some really great panoramas. Even though it's hard to show you right now, you can see it's turning around on that grid as I move my phone. But definitely go check that out. It's totally worth the money. It creates some really spectacular photos. Next we have Reddit. Pretty much everyone knows what Reddit is. It's just a social news website where people can upvote what they want to see to the front page. So that's something that I like to use. If you don't use Reddit, then obviously you wouldn't want to have a Reddit app. I use Alien Blue. And then Facebook. Almost everybody has a Facebook account. I don't want to show anybody's name, so I'm not gonna put it on screen. But now you can see here's our page on Facebook. You can go like us on facebook.com/iPodUplink. But yeah, Facebook is a great social networking site. I use it a lot, and it's a great way to get updates from your friends and from various pages that I have liked, such as iPod Uplink. And finally, Flurry. That's the Twitter client I use. It's a really great gesture-based Twitter client. So you can see you can swipe around a bunch, and it just has a bunch of great gestures. You can see if we go all the way through, if we don't want to have to reach all the way back up there, we just swipe back through. And it has a very clean interface, something I'm very pleased with. But again, there's countless Twitter clients for the iPhone. There's even the Twitter official one, which is free, I believe. This is $2.99 if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, there's tons of options for Twitter clients. This is just the one I choose to use. Next, let's go into entertainment. I've got 3 things here. First is iBooks. I don't personally use the iBooks section of it. I use it for PDFs more. You can save all kinds of PDFs and read them in book format later. But again, you do have the option to look at books. I don't have any on my device, but it's a good experience, even better on the iPad for reading various PDFs and books. Next is Netflix. If you're subscribed to the Netflix streaming service, then you can download the app and watch all of the shows and movies on your device. And lastly, I have TED. TED is a conference where people give various talks. It stands for Technology, Entertainment, and Design, I believe, but there's a lot of really interesting things that people have given talks about, from technology to art to just everything you can imagine. So I really recommend you go check that out. And lastly, we have Other. These are just a couple cool apps or useful apps that I use frequently. This is Instant Heart Rate, and what it does is it uses the camera and the LED flash to detect your heart rate. So if we hold it over, then you can see how it shines through, and it can detect minute changes in the color of your finger to detect your heart rate, and it'll give you your heart rate. Mine's a little elevated, it looks like. There we go, that's more like it. Okay, so that's how that works. It's very cool. It's one of the coolest apps I've ever seen and the coolest uses of the camera. So you can go check that out. It has a paid and free version. Next we have eBay. Everybody knows what eBay is. It's an online auction site. You can get lots of things used for free. So I've gotten iPhone cases, various things from there, tripods, you know. It's a great site. I really recommend you go check it out. And their app has a great interface, even though it's not updated and optimized for iPhone 5. It's really easy to use, I've found, and I really recommend you go check it out. And finally, we have Flashlight. This one's pretty self-explanatory. It's just a flashlight app. If you have an iPhone, it's definitely something you should look into getting, because this has a pretty good LED flash, and there's usually several different patterns you can do with it, like strobe. So you can see You have several different options with that. But yeah, this is just a basic app. You can see it's free, so it has ads. But once again, there's countless flashlight apps. So that covers the basic few apps. Obviously, you also have all the default apps, which can replace some of these, like there's Apple Maps or Safari instead of Google Chrome or Google Maps. So that's just based on your preference. Once again, links to all of these are down in the description if you want to go check them out. These are by no means all the apps that you are going to have on your device, but these are just the ones that I think are great to get you started, give you a wide range of options with your device. So if you have any more suggestions, then leave them down in the comments for anybody that's new and has a new iOS device. But that's all we have for now. Thank you very much for watching, and please subscribe.